Okay, we are number 13, if I can count correctly. And this is the Count of Monte Cristo by Alexandre Dumas. Originally published 1844, translated and abridged by Lowell Bear. I hope I said that right. There's the name right there. Oh, right there. I just got off like an hour-long phone call with a friend making plans, so sorry about that. But overall opinion review 4.8 with a margin of error of 0.1, of course. This book was absolutely fantastic. I loved every second reading this. There was never a dull moment. And even when like nothing was technically happening in said novel, I still wasn't bored. It was awesome. It was great. It is truly so I'm sure many of you have heard of like the Count of Monte Cristo or the Three Musketeers, which Alexandre Dumas also wrote. It is a truly harrowing tale of revenge, conveniences, and drama. You gotta have conveniences to make a story like this. Come on now. Plus, it's fun. It was like sometimes I'd, for novels, I'm like, oh, like what, like really, he's there, or like, oh yeah, sure, they just appeared there. But this is truly like every time I just laughed, and I was like, yeah, of course. I don't know why I did the, I don't know why I did like a fake laugh there. I thought it was great. I thought it was really awesome, and some of the prose where he talks about where he like solidifies his vengeance on people it's scary. It is really scary, and it is quite thrilling. The justice system back then was so absolutely ass. The amount of evidence one needed to convict someone is abysmally low. Someone's, what did I say? Signatures go a long way, which is true. Back then, people of prestige held a lot of power. And this seriously shows it. You could get convicted based off of nothing. And honestly, it still happens sometimes. Luckily for us, Edmond Dantes is more fortunate than others, though. So, it keeps you in this, like, state of perpetual suspense. Sorry, I'm gonna put my iPad up now. There we go. Like this perpetual state of suspense. And you don't really recognize it until you put down the book. And you're like, why is my heart beating a little faster? Why am I going to and fro? It's because, there we go. It's because this book is just so great at creating drama and suspense and everything is so meticulously planned out, and seeing it fulfilled and seeing it sometimes go a little too far is nonetheless a true treat to read. Once the story starts going, you are kept in the dark for some things, but if you're smart enough, or if you're I don't know, well read, if you've read stories like this before, you'll be able to like figure it out. And I actually really like that. I actually really, really like that, because when it is revealed to you, you're like, holy crap, I was right. And for me anyways, I was like, oh, yep, I called it. I knew this is what I was right about. I don't want to, give away any spoilers or anything, but there we go. Look at that lad. But yeah, no, I loved it. I know I said like a few books ago, don't keep your readers in the dark, but this came out in 1844. That was before the rules, and they did it quite well. But yeah, honestly, what caught me most off guard was the fact that this novel came out in the mid 1800s, and it was this good. it was genuinely really, really good. Like it's not up there with like the Russian literature that I love in terms of like I don't know, like literary scope. I don't think, this has much to, I like it's just a great story. It's just a really great story, and it's very well written. Um I don't know how much analyses you could get done here. I'm sure there's a bit, if you're talking about like revenge and stuff, the philosophy of vengeance. But man, this was just awesome. I took a pre-1800 British novel class last semester, and I hated almost every book we wrote or we read except for like two or three of them. Sorry, professor, but um it's not, it's not your fault. The books were just, they're just shit. British people. Um I wrote down, I wonder if Edmund is justified in his story of vengeance. And I think he is. I think he is for the most part. But then again, I just really like to see uh revenge taken out. Especially like stories this well written. But it's not like he, like I said, there are parts where he like messes up a little bit. And you're able to reflect back, and you're able to be like, was this worth it? Was this worth it? I don't know. To each their own. It wasn't exactly his fault. So but yeah, dialogue is great. Everything Edmund does is superb. Everything he does is superb. It's yeah, like I said, I was truthfully never bored in this story, and that's rare for me with novels. Really, like every page, I really was reading it. I wasn't just like scanning over like stuff like that. I wasn't scanning over like boring. Sorry, boring descriptions. Great book. Great book. I will. Well, thank you for listening to me, and I will talk to you later.